Howdy folks, welcome back to my channel. I'm DJ Southern Comfort, and today we're going to be working on a new DIY. For those of you that haven't seen my latest video on putting together a console, my console 2.0, go back to my library and see if you can check it out. What I'm going to build now is going to be a road case to put my console in, so when I travel I can slide it in my trailer and not to worry too much about it. So anyway, so stay tuned and enjoy. Okay, as usual, and as with all my projects, I go out and I get whatever materials I think I might need. In this case, I've gotten some project panels. I got a 3/4 inch by 24 by 6 foot panel, and then I got another 12 inch by 6 foot panel. And as we start building, you'll see why I had to get two panels. I also got a variety of 1x3s, 1x4s, by 6. And I'm going to use that to do some of the support for the frames. I also went ahead and purchased some hardware. I got some removable hinges. I got some locking mechanisms. I got some, I guess you call these holders or straps or carriers or whatever. That's exactly what you call that. I got some corner pieces. I got some, also some corner support brackets. I got some locking mechanisms of a different kind. So, and then I got a couple of boxes of screws, and we'll go from there. Here's a basic drawing of what I want to put together. I'm not sure if you can see that very well. But of course, this is always a guideline. I usually draw everything, that way I can figure out what kind of materials I'm going to need, and then I put it into use. This is also going to be Raptor-linered, and it's going to be on wheels, and I should be able to slide my console in and out without any major issues, and it'll protect the console during transport and storage. All right, I took that 8 by 6 foot board that I had, and I cut a 4 inches board out of it. And the reason I did that is I added it to the 24 inch board I had. And you notice here I got these 4 inches here. And the reason I did that is because the case or the road box needs to be about 4 inches wider than the console. The console is actually 24 inches. So the case, I want it to be 28 inches. So I have room on both sides to put some foaming material and a little bit of wiggle room to get it in and out. Not too much, but just enough. So I had to calculate that as best guess and go with that route. Now, the console is 48 inches wide, and what I've done is I'm going to cut this at 52 inches wide, and it gives me a little bit of wiggle room on both ends to put foaming material and framing support. So that's where I'm at now. I just measured the 52 inches, and I'm fixing to cut that with a circular saw. And then I'll start adding support pieces, just like this 1x4. And that'll be the bottom piece of the console, of the box itself. Sorry, not the console. And then from there I can build up and get it all put together. So, all right, the bottom frame is done. Or should I say the edges. I still got to do a little bit of support in the center. I cut it to 52 by 24. No, 26. No, 28. Hell, 28. Yeah, 52 by 28. Too many numbers for me to remember. Anyways, but I used my handy dandy DeWalt circular saw, and let's keep rolling. Okay, the base of the box is done. Got the wheels on it. Got supporting brackets all the way across. Put a little 1x for framing, and then I'm going to use some type of lightweight plywood to build the walls with some 1x's supporting the corners itself. Those pieces of panel are going to be screwed into the sides and the bottom, and then we'll go from there. Rolls really easy. Although right now it's got the locks on. I bought wheels with locks on them because I don't want the thing to roll around on inside the trailer. Even though it's going to be strapped. But that it rolls really easy. All right, with the bottom complete, I've started building the side walls. This is the back wall. I got it attached to the bottom. All those screws are going to be filled with Bondo. And there's a little metal trimming, L-shaped trimming that's going to go around the edges to give it that finished cabinet, or what do you call it, Roadcase look. So now I'm building the frame to that, and then I'm going to run some support bars from corner to this corner, and hopefully that'll keep it nice and steady. All right, got one of the sidewalls up. Working on the frame at the same time, and I'm pleased because just this little bit of framing that I've done so far is really steadying it up. So far so good. Again, all these edges got to be covered with a metal, aluminum L-shaped bracket. It's going to have corner brackets. It's going to have corner end tops. Yeah, I think it's going to look really good. So far, so good. All right, here we go. We got all the panels, side panels done. And what I'm working now is putting a little top frame where the lid is going to come, and I'll have it latched with some special latches. Got those all the way around, but I kind of ran out of material, so I got to run to the lumber store and get a little bit of extra stuff. Need another piece of plywood. I've used 2 pieces of plywood so far. I got a little bit left to start the top portion of it, but not enough to finish it. So I get some more of these trim. These are 1 by, I think it's 1 by 1. These are 1 by 1s by 8. So I got to get a couple of those, and I got to get some more. Another sheet of plywood, and I think that'll be enough to complete the entire box. And the way this works is the console is going to slide in here. It's going to sit in here. And then I'm going to have this sits about 3 inches below the bottom portion of the top of the console. And then I'm going to have a top that's going to close on top of it. Or I might just have it where, you just put on top and latch it. I haven't decided yet with that. What'll be easier to do, so we'll see. With the bottom case done, I started working on the top. Basically what I've done is I've taken a 1 by and I've built I guess a square or a foundation where all the panels for the top are going to be attached to. And I've already attached the back panel, and I've brought it up to about 13 and 38 inches. This gives me enough room to put my console in there, and probably about another 3/4 of an inch so I can foam pad it, just to add added protection to the console itself. On the top itself here, on the inside, is going to have a piece of metal that sticks down past the bottom piece. That way when you put the top in it, it won't wiggle back and forward. It will stay right there where it needs to be. And when you latch it on the sides, it'll be even more secured. I decided not to go with hinges for the top. It's just going to be a removable top. So my assistant, DJ Baby Spice, between her and me, we can grab the box on each side and just lay it on the floor until we unload the console, and vice versa. So all I got left to do is build the sides, the front piece, and the top, frame it all in, start sanding down, and I'll be ready for paint and primer and probably wrap the liner. The top is partially complete. All I got to do is frame it in, put the top cover on it. You got to put some support 1 by 1s all the way around and down the side corners. And then the top piece will be installed, and that'll complete the box itself. Then we'll have to do the rest of the accessories, latches, handles, trim, and then painting, primering, and wrap the lining. And I got the top portion done. Everything's been framed in, nailed in. That looks pretty good. It's not perfect, but I got some corner pieces that are going to go on it to protect it. That'll cover most of the little imperfections. And the rest of the hardware will cover everything, and the Raptor liner will definitely seal everything up, and you will never know. I hope this is making sense, guys. Stay tuned. What I've done now is I started putting together, or installing, should I say, the handles on the side of the box. And basically what I did was I made a pattern. This is just a piece of cardboard. And then after measuring and centering and whatnots, I traced it, then I cut it off. I used my jigsaw. Right now I just got it temporarily installed with 4 screws. Eventually when I get it wrapped, the liner and everything done, then I'll go ahead and rivet everything in. The entire thing is going to be riveted. All the latches and the locking mechanisms, they're all going to be riveted into the box. All the trimming along the side is going to be riveted. So that's pretty much it. That's where we're at. I mean, you can grab it. You can lift the top. But I'm working on installing the locking mechanisms. And what I did is I made another template with a piece of cardboard. And basically, I marked the position in the cabinet, and I'm going to route, using a router, I'm going to router about, I think it's about a 1/4 inch depth all the way around. Now let me show you how it looks once it's done. I did the other side already. There it is. And it works like a charm. Okay. That'll lock the top, secure the top with the bottom, and we'll go from there. That nifty, I'm using my little nifty DeWalt battery operated router. It's perfect for small jobs like this. Can't go wrong. I'm using a 1/8, but you can probably use a 1/4 inch or a 3/8 inch router bit, straight cut, just to hollow it out and install your locking mechanism. Right, and just like that, this is what my box looks like. All I got left to do is some sanding, work on the trim around it. The aluminum trim is going to go all the way around just like Roadcases have. And then I got to work on padding the inside and fitting my console in so I can put some guides or rails with foam, or when I slide the console in, it slides in perfectly where it needs to be, and it doesn't bounce around once I strap it around. So I think it came out pretty good. Once I get everything mocked up and put in, then I'll take it apart and I'll prep it for Raptor liner, get it all prime coated black, and then Raptor liner. I went ahead and ordered a gallon of Raptor liner from Amazon. It's a 2-part kit. It's got 4 liters, and you got to mix it all together per bottle. And it comes with a gun. All you need is an air compressor, and you shoot it. It comes out just like the canned Raptor liner does. Same as my trailer back there. That's Raptor liner. All right, I got the box back at the house where my console is, and we went ahead and loaded the box, or should I say the console, into the box. Very easy to do. Just got to lean in on one side, bring it up about halfway, and then roll the rest in. So what I'm working on now is I'm mocking or tracing where I want this thing to actually sit, so I can also run some probably 1x4s with some foaming material around the bottom to keep it from moving back and forward. And it's going to have a strap that goes from the back down to here. I'm going to have some loops here, or some kind of hooking mechanism where I strap it, tighten it up. And in theory, that'll keep it from bouncing around, hopefully. The rest of the box inside, including the top, It's going to be all foamed in, just in case it bounces around and hits the wall. I don't want it to get scuffed up. Other than that, it fits in there perfectly. I have about maybe a 1/4 of an inch on top from the top cover, the plastic cover that I bought from my Flex 10, and I'm going to pad that also with probably some 1/4 inch foaming material just to protect the cover from getting scratched up in case it bounces up and down, which is very possible in the trailer. And I think I just got to start doing the finishing touches on this bad boy. All right, we continue to put the trim around the box. I'm using these aluminum L-shaped bars. In retrospect, I would have been cheaper if I went to one of those cratebox.com, DIY cratebox or roadbox.com, something like that. And I could have bought the actual framing rails for a Roadcase. It's got little grooves in it, and it probably would have been a whole lot cheaper. But I didn't realize I could do that until I already bought these pieces, and so I got these pieces, and that's what I'm going with. So, but if for you future guys out there that were going to build a box or something, go to one of those DIY roadbox.com type deals, and you can get the like 16-foot for a fraction of what I paid for a 4-footer or a 6-footer of the actual aluminum bars from Tractor Supply or Lowe's. But anyways, I'm happy with it. It's coming out real good. As you can see, I already finished the top of the box. Been working on the side. I got the corner braces already on it. I needed a 8 more, so they should be here tomorrow. And I'll get the corner of the bottom pieces finished off. I'm working on the front now. And once I get it all put together, then I'll take it all apart. Make sure you label it correctly so all the pieces go back where you had them originally. And I'll wrap the liner. Well, first I'll primer it, then I'll wrap the liner of the box. So it's a little tedious process because you got to measure each bar. You got to make sure you got it exactly just right. Then I cut it with my grinder. Then I bolt them in. So, but you know, just taking our time. It's another cold weather here in Central Texas. Windy, so I'm working inside today. But you know, we just keep on trucking. Project. I got most of the aluminum trimming done. I'm missing quite a few of the long pieces. I haven't been able to find them yet. I'm gonna make a trip tomorrow to Temple, Texas. There's a Lowe's up there. I'm pretty sure they have them. I need about 5 of these long pieces to go across here. I need 2 for the top, 2 for the bottom, and 1 for the front. Other than that, everything else is pretty much framed in. Here's the top. Now, on the inside, I built a pocket or drawer, inverted drawer, if you want to call it, on this side. And that's going to be completely foam padded. And what I'm going to do is, that's where it's going to house my monitor and my laptop pole and my monitor pole. So I'm going to slide in there, strap it down for transport, and it should be nice and safe. The rest of this is going to be primered black. But before I do that, I got to remove all the trimming, make sure I place it where I can remember where it goes. All it's going to be primer black, and then it's going to be foamed heavily on certain areas where I know it will come in contact if it shifts a little bit with the console itself. to protect it. I already got the guidelines where I want some kind of rail wood system with foam, where when I put the console in, I can just slide it back and it sits in between there in a nice little saddle type deal. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. Building those rails and adding the foam. I've gotten most of the framing done, but my Raptor liner came in, so I decided to go ahead and start getting it prepped so I can spray some black primer on it, and then I can Raptor liner it. Basically what I did is I took all the pieces off and I put them in some kind of order where I know exactly where they go. That's the box itself. That's the front door, and then on top of my table there I have the topper itself. I had a couple of spots I had to use a little bit of wet putty to fill in. I went ahead and filled in those spots so they don't show so much when I do the Raptor liner. Remind you, it's plywood, so it's not a perfect grain of wood. So I'm not sure how the Raptor liner is going to show those spots or not. Raptor liner, as I said before, is very unforgiving, but this is going to be the true test how unforgiving it might be. Also, I guess I could have done the framing after I Raptor liner it, so I didn't have to take it apart and do it again, but I had a couple of days to wait for the Raptor liner, so I went ahead. I was curious and how it was going to look with all the framing, and I think it looks professional. It looks just like something you might order of a catalog or custom made from a professional shop anyways. Not tooting my own horn. I mean, I'm not an expert by any means, but we try to make it look as good as we can. So now we go into priming, and then we're going to do some Raptor lining, and we'll see how it looks. All right, guys, we're getting ready to primer this thing. Since it's such a big piece, you know, the bottom piece, I got the door, and then I got the top piece. If I was to use spray can, I'll be here forever, and it'll probably cost a lot more than what I want to spend. So what I did was I bought some Color Max Krylon acrylic latex flat black. I'm going to use my handy dandy gravity fed spray gun with my compressor, and I'm going to go ahead and primer all this real quick before I do the Raptor liner. Got my compressor already going. It's already full. And I'll show you what it looks like when I get done. Not rhino liner it, but the first step is primer it. The primer has been completed inside out. I have my gun set to a little lower pressure than I typically do because it's a windy day and I didn't want to have too much overspray and flying everywhere. So it took me about an hour to get all these pieces done. And I used about half of that quart of paint. I was going to dilute it with some mineral spirits because it's an acrylic based paint, and I didn't have any, so that kind of slowed down the spray process a little bit, but it still worked out pretty good. It's all dried, ready to go, so now we're going to do the Raptor lining. So let's go to my nifty little rolling table here, and this is my Raptor liner kit that I bought. This is a 4 quarts 1 gallon kit. It comes with 4 quarts of the material. It's got, I believe these are 8 fluid ounces. Yep, 8 fluid ounces of the activator or hardener. And then also I always buy it with a little gun because these guns come in handy, and they don't cost that much extra if you buy the gun with it. I do have a gun from one of my last project, and I'm probably just going to use it. It's already got the pressure gauge on it. And basically you mix 1 quart with 8 ounces. I mix it here. You can just pour it into the bottle and just shake the bottle, but I like to mix it here because I get a better mix. I use my little handy dandy drill mixer. And then you set your pressure on your gun to about 40 to 60 psi. I usually go in between about 45, 50. And then I'll do a test pattern or something real quick, make sure I'm not getting too much material or less material. Just like any other spray gun, you got to adjust it to where you get it just right. Other than that, it comes with the instructions, in case you're wondering. This Raptor liner, it comes in different colors. You can get it white, blue, red, just about any color you want. Plus, it comes in a tintable version where you can just buy some automotive paint and just mix it in with it, and it'll actually come out the color of the paint you want it to be coming out. We did that with one of my son's 1988 Ram Charger. We did a surf blue Raptor liner version on it, and he's won many car show prizes because of the paint and the way it looks. So, all right, just got done Raptor linering it. You can see the texture on it, and I believe once I put all the trim and bracketing and stuff, it's going to look really nice. This is the front piece. Yeah, it's a little windy, so I got a little bit of grass on it, but that ain't gonna hurt nothing. And then the box. All right, most of the framing is done, but I had to stop because I ran out of screws. Plus, I need to get some rivets. I got a couple of pieces like these door handles. The panels are only about 11/14 inch, I believe it is, thickness, so I got to use rivets instead of screws. But pretty much she's done. I'm going to cut some pieces here. I could have done it a different way, but I'm just going to cut some square pieces. Recess a screw in the center and just bolt it in, finish it off. I think it came out really nice. You guys be the judge. Just got to do some foam padding, test fit my console in here, get it all where it's nice and tight, safe for transport. And then the top as well is done. I just got to get some rivets to finish off the handles. And that's what it looks like. It's got the nice Raptor liner on it. It's built to take abuse. I went with 3/4 inch screws all the way around with the trimming. So that trimming is not going anywhere. Here it is, finished. All for except doing all the foam padding inside. I'm going to do that next once I take it up to my house where my console is, and I put it in there so I can get some measurements again. I've measured it before and I got it lined out, but I just want to make sure I got it just right. You know, old saying, cut once, measure twice. I think it is cut once. So basically this is it. I'm surprised it is not very heavy at all. I used that lightweight, or I guess thin plywood, but the case itself is not very heavy, and it moves very easily, and I think it's going to protect that new console I built really nice. I'm going to put my logo on the front, probably some information how to book me, maybe a QR code or something, just to make it look snazzy. I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments if you think I should put stickers on it or not, or just leave it like it is. I think it's beautiful the way it is. So, and I was also having some ideas when I was putting this box together, or the bottom piece alone. If I was to build some kind of a topper for it, to where you can put a controller, and it might make it for a nice little DJ console as well. So maybe not as wide and as big, as tall. I mean, well, the tall is perfect. It's about 34 inches. Add 3 inches for the wheels. Yeah, 36, 37 inches. But the width, you know, might be a little too much. So I'm gonna have to cut that down a little bit. But I was thinking that might be a cool little setup. Maybe if I get a TV that'll fit in here perfectly, and put it behind plexiglass. I don't know. Just different ideas. If you guys think that's a good idea or not, or if you got any ideas, you know, hey, I'm open for suggestions, man. I'll build it. I don't care. I ain't got nothing but time. All right. Our next video, or the next segment you'll see, will be with the console on the side and the foam padding already done. Okay, I started adding the foam padding for the console. So far, I've done the lower part. Got the 2 guiding rails. Got the back piece, and then I got the door over here. If my calculations are correct, that's a big if, the console will sit there fairly snug, and it'll hold it in place. I'm going to add some straps in the bottom there to also strap the bottom piece to keep it from sliding as much as possible. There's always going to be a little shimmy, a little sliding. That's inevitable in the back of a trailer especially, but the more you can cut it down, the more protected the console will be. So, all right, we're foaming up the interior of the top box. I was fortunate enough that my son and my daughter-in-law, where they work, they get a lot of foam from shipping and stuff that comes in, and they were able to provide me with a ton of foam, good quality foam too. This is the nice, soft, bit rigid enough to take any impact and protect whatever's inside of it. So, got this done. All right, the box is complete. I've moved it to my studio so I can load my console. So, here comes the moment of truth. I'm going to see if it actually fits, everything works. Hopefully my calculations were all correct. I'm feeling pretty good about that. All right, got it inside the box itself, and my rails work perfectly. Measurements are exact. It slides right in there, foam padded. So, and the console itself has wheels in the bottom, and I lock them in the front, so it doesn't move back and forward. So all I got to do now is put the top. We'll see how that works. Oh no, I also got to put the front on. So I'm fixing to put the front on now, and we'll see how that looks. All right, let me show you all the inside here. I got the front panel on, and I got a little gap here, about another inch gap. So I got some additional 1-inch material there, foam, and I'm going to go ahead and pad that up so it snugs everything in nice and tight. See how snug it is in the back, side. Just got to work on the front. Easy fix. All the way around, looks really, really good. All right, guys, thanks for hanging around and watching the build of this Roadcase. It's a custom built Roadcase for my console 2.0. I hope you guys get something out of it. Maybe it inspires some of you guys to build your own. Price-wise, I think I spent a little over $500 on everything I needed, and that's because I spent a little more money on the aluminum trimming. I probably could have saved some if I'd have went to those one of those DIY Roadcase websites and ordered just some long strips. Lesson learned. I did have a lot of it laying around from previous projects, so but I did end up buying probably about $150 worth of trim, so aluminum trim. So keep that in mind when you build your own, if you decide to build your own. And I guess, of course, I'm always available, so you can shoot me a message or just ask me any questions. I'll be more than happy to help as much as I can. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching the Southern Comfort.